G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 295 are open. Today on the show we're going to be going over the Game Awards. It was quite a good show, so I'd like to talk about it a little bit with Josh, if you don't mind, as well as some stuff we've been talking about or we've been playing over the last 2 or so weeks. Haven't had a show in a while, so I'm looking forward to talking to Josh. Or JT, if you like. Josh, how you going, my friend?
Drew, where you been? What's been going on? I missed you, buddy. What's been happening? 3 weeks of nothing.
I've been a silly little man, haven't I? Yeah. Well, I had just for the audience, even though they probably don't care, but one recording. It was just a stinking hot day, knackered after work. You didn't want to listen to that. Josh didn't want to hear it. It is what it is. And then the week afterwards, Lucas just wouldn't go to bed. I was up till like 10 o'clock trying to get him to bed because he was with my mum during the day and he had a good nap on the farm. And didn't want to nap at home. So yeah, that kind of ruined that one last week. But
yes, when I take my naps during the day, that makes me not so tired at night as well. So I get you, Lucas. That's fair.
We get you, money. We get you, Lucas. You're all good here, mate. But it didn't quite work out for the podcast schedule because also Layla was sick, so juggling the two kids, it wasn't going to work.
It would be a lot. I imagine your house is chaotic at times. Mine doesn't compare in terms of the craziness, I imagine. No. If
it was just you and Michaela sort of having that sort of chaos with that I have with a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old, I don't know what you're doing. You're baking a cake and you just like the oven explodes and all the yeast goes everywhere. I don't know. You would have to have like an accident, and I don't want any accidents in your house, mate. Like,
no, thanks. Same
no
here.
Worries.
Tifa would have run off, or something crazy like that would have happened, and to cause the same amount of chaos. But that's all right. We're here now. We can make up for it. But I kind of missed our little chat, Stu. It's been a little while.
I do too. Yeah, I didn't miss like the editing and the posting and all that. That's quite good. But this part of it, what we're doing right now, is pretty fun. We just
the best bit.
Get the talk and.
Correct.
We've actually seen some pretty cool things as far as like leaks from some accessory manufacturers in China as far as Switch 2 goes. So that's the most interesting part of actual official like Nintendo news related things go, which is pretty cool. It's always nice to have a little bit of a sneak peek, potentially, maybe. I'm pretty confident in it though. Are you pretty confident that is the Switch 2?
A lot of it's corroborating together, like the two Type-C USB ports at the top and then at the bottom. The similar form factor. I know, like D-Brand, the one who leaked it, I think they're kind of known for kind of taunting. Like they've done with PlayStation, I believe, in the past, and especially with like the plates that you put on that console. They've done things in the past, and Sony have given them like cease and desists, I think. This is what I've been reading up on anyway. But so... like Nintendo has a plan, I'm sure, but, they want to make sure that everything runs smoothly day one. And that includes having to have these things ready to sell pretty well straight away. So there's always the risk. I don't know, like, I'm starting to believe it more and more that is what it looks like. Because so much of it's kind of corroborating together. But yeah, like we really don't know. Honestly don't know until Nintendo themselves finally announce it sometime in the next 3 months.
Yes. The only thing I can think of, like, with all of these like dimensions for the Switch 2 and like the magnetic Joy-Cons, I wonder if it's just copying that, then like running with that.
Yeah. Yep.
That could
make
be
it look credible
too, but
correct.
I don't know. It's funny because if this is truly the Switch 2, it just looks like the Switch I've been wanting for a while. Nothing too exciting, but it's just like get rid of the bezels, better Joy-Cons, a better grip as far as like actually holding the device. It's kind of just like kind of just what I've been wanting for like since 2020, where it's all right, I kind of want to upgrade to the Switch. It's kind of showing its age a bit. And yeah, 8 years later, sort of getting that, getting that potentially next year, which would be good.
Yeah, and then what did some of the other leaks saying? There's 3 colors to choose from, like a black,
Oh,
a
I haven't
white,
seen
and a
that.
grey or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen
It's
as far as like the actual system goes, like the Joy Cons and things.
yeah,
Or
like it will be like LCD screen instead of OLED, like another rumor, something like that.
I was looking at sort of what D Brand was saying. Somebody actually interviewed him, or somebody at D
Yes.
Brand, and yeah, they had no idea what the screen was, or they didn't really know anything outside of the dimensions that what they need to actually make the
Which
cases.
makes sense, wouldn't it? You just
Yeah,
need to know the dimensions to make a case, don't you? You don't need to know the screen.
yeah, for sure. It's funny too because all of this probably works in D Brand's favor because I'm looking at like I just see it. I'm trying to look through the case at the actual Switch
Yeah.
itself, and I'm looking at like sort of the grips and everything that it actually adds to the system. I'm like, I kind of looks pretty good actually.
Oh, it's huge marketing for them, and
Oh, it's
like you can't
massive, yeah.
properly see anything from what they've done. So like it's like huge opportunity, and like they've just capitalized on it. And yeah, like people like you and us are looking through their website, looking at stuff, and like, oh wow, we're there. Oh, look at this. I've still got a current Switch. This looks cool, or blah blah blah. Or I've got a PlayStation as well. They do stuff as here. So like like hats off for them to try and capitalize on this opportunity for Nintendo. Not announcing it, they probably have received something. Maybe we don't know, but at least getting people excited, and they're probably making some sales.
Yeah, yeah. I
Sneaky.
always wonder like, obviously Nintendo's not going to like this, and say for their, I guess it's going to be like another another decade before they got to worry about this again. Probably, but like they won't get early access to like the plan so they can make cases for day one. I wonder if that's like much of an issue for them necessarily, or that they can get a hold of it pretty easily just through other means and quickly rig up a case for it. I don't know how long these things sort of take, but
Yeah,
yeah, I always
yeah,
think about that with the iPhone because the iPhone, like it matters a lot to be there day one. I feel like for a brand new model of iPhone or just any phone. Whereas, like, if you're blacklisted by Apple or Samsung or one of these like major mobile phone companies, yeah, that's probably pretty detrimental. But for something like a Nintendo console that doesn't come out quite as frequent as annual, yeah, I wonder
yes,
if it's as big a deal. Obviously, D Brand sort of picked the lane where like, look, the advertising is more important than being on Nintendo's good side. So yeah, not quite sure, but regardless, it's interesting to see.
yeah, and yeah, whether they lose some stuff later on with their relationship with Nintendo, so be it. That might be the case, but in the meantime, once the designs are officially confirmed as well, if this is fake, they'll have them and they can still make stuff, can't they? From that point onward.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty cool though. Like, is there anything that sort of strikes you as far as what you can see as far as the Switch 2 goes? Probably the biggest sort of thing that takes your eye a little bit is just like there's a couple of extra buttons, but also like the kickstand at the back instead of just like the big slab of metal like it is on the Switch OLED. It is more like a cutout U shape. So the actual kickstand,
Yeah,
I guess, takes less materials, which is interesting. I thought on the OLED it actually works really well, the kickstand, because it covers all of like all of that text, which has to be on most devices, where it's like talking about the battery and the recycling and just all of the boring stuff that you don't really
yeah,
want on your device. It hides that, and it's also a great sort of spot to double up as an SD card, sort of, I guess, a lid, so your SD card's not exposed. So it kind of works pretty well for that. So
yeah.
it doesn't look like the U shape's going to work for that, but I don't know where the little slot is or whatever. But yeah, looking
It's
forward to
yeah.
seeing this thing.
Um, it's for me, like I'm looking at like this. I've still got the OG and this shitty little kickstand that doesn't work properly unless everything's perfectly flat. I'll take anything, and so the U-shaped thing that they've proposed in there looks so much better. The OLED one, I've handled one before and used it, and the kickstand works perfectly. So and then the bigger screen, is amazing. I really hope the OLED thing does happen in the end and they don't revert back to LCD, because I'm going to get pretty annoyed if that's the case. That'd be pretty annoying day one, kind of, you know. With so many people have upgraded to the OLED as well, and then I've been looking forward to having that kind of quality look on my next Switch. So if that's not the case, I'm going to be pretty peeved off, actually. But that would be a Nintendo thing to do. You know, it's, you know, I wish it looked slightly more like it was a next iteration of a console. That's my own little thing about it, but you know, effectively what we've been saying between the lines is we really love the Switch and everything it's done for us in terms of portability, in terms of how easy it is to play these games, and does everything you need. It might be showing a bit of age now, which is why we just want something a bit more powerful, which is what this effectively does. And so changes a couple of minor things on top of that, but that's about it. So I think for most people, that's really what they want. So, you know, more of the same, but a bit more powerful, so it can have some of the more later games, bring them into the portable sphere, and you know, get to experiencing them again or in a new way on a handheld device.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just looking at it, you're like, yeah, mate, it looks like a Switch, but a little bit different and
Slightly different
and a bit bigger.
Yep.
With like a bit of grips on the side, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like especially after the Game Awards, where we've actually had like a really great showing, and I kind of just like watching that. I want majority of those games to be able to be played on Switch too. Like that's pretty much what I want. I'm not really asking for like the world, but I want to be able to play my third party games on Switch 2, and also, you know, just the next slate of first party Nintendo games as well would be really nice. But yeah, don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of those that did get announced probably will be, you know, Akami 2. Love to think that surely that comes to Switch 2, day one.
Yeah, that'll come probably like the middle of the Switch 2's life.
One stage. Yeah, well, eventually when it comes out. You know, we got Witcher 3 on Switch, so do we get Witcher 4 on Switch 2?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like stuff like that, like some of the biggest games in the world that everyone's going to be playing, having the option to play that on Switch would be fantastic. But
be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried that they're going to undershoot the power a little bit, because if they're aiming for like PlayStation 4, like PlayStation 4 was underpowered when it came out, and you know, while you can have great looking games on it, I'm a little bit concerned just as far as, you know, as far as like The Witcher 4 and things like that, like are they going to be able to be scalable enough to be able to fit onto this? Which I think games are getting more and more scalable as things go on, as like time goes on. So that might be an option. Hopefully Nintendo sort of work that out, because they definitely want as many partners as possible to be making games for this thing. So hopefully they've thought about that and actually have like a bit of a mission statement when it comes to like a new system, rather than just, yeah, we're going to have a new one, it's a bit better and it's going to work for us and no one else. Hopefully they've sort of seen the checkbooks, sort of how well it's done for them, having like selling everybody else's games as well as their own, because yeah, the amount of software that they've moved on Switch is just phenomenal, and
unreal.
People want to buy games there. People want to play games on Nintendo now. So hopefully they actually give developers and their customers that option. That's the main thing I want, is just about know that, you know, pretty confident, unless it's like a really graphical showpiece for PC or PS5 Pro or something like that, something like where it's at the very high end. I really do hope most of these games come, because like next year I'm looking at Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm like, oh, that'd be great. Like that'd be an awesome handheld game. You know, like the Resident Evil games, and like a bunch of you know, just a bunch of stuff that I want to play in handheld. And even like the RPGs, like, you know, Visions of Mana this year, you know, came out and it didn't come out on Switch. So it'd be cool just to see like a lot of these games get ports and moved over to be able to play on the go. That isn't a Steam Deck, I guess.
Yeah, you know, and we kind of, you know, we're at that stage now where I think these big games aren't coming to Switch anymore. So, you know, they're ready for the next thing. So I just hope it's more powerful, you know, hopefully closer to, I don't know, PS4 Pro. Would that be good enough for you, Drew? Closer towards that? Is that going to...
Yeah, that'd be fun. Especially like, say you have like the basic graphical output of a PS4 or PS4 4 Pro, that type of range, because you can have like stunning games on that. Like Last of Us Part 2, that was just like it's one of the best games we've ever seen. And that was on PS5 or PS4. But then also hopefully they have like just a few more like modern bits of technology in it, stuff like an SSD hard drive, for example. Like that'll be a day and night difference just having that. Even if the graphics and the CPU and that aren't like top of the range, which they won't be, but having like simple things like that, like the SSD for loading times and able to push graphics and all of that type of thing, that'd be good. That'd be good. And if they don't do that, if they don't have like a bunch of partners and a lot of third party games, there is the Steam Deck and these other handhelds sort of waiting to eat its lunch if it doesn't do that. So
correct.
Hopefully they're thinking about that as well.
Yeah. And Drew, we've got 3 months. It won't be December, but January, February, or March. If we're gonna see this thing finally. We're gonna get details. Finally, it feels like such a long time. It feels like it's been such a massively drawn out process. 2024 for all of this.
I literally had a dream, dude, like a week or two ago, where I had a dream where they announced a direct and I was watching it and they were announcing it, talking about games and everything. I woke up feeling so excited. So lame, so dumb. I know, big nerd. But like I literally had a full on dream where like it's funny because it's like kind of exactly what I want, where it was like it was a handheld and a console, and like both of the devices together were called like Nintendo Studio.
Oh, okay.
And like you could like buy your games. They obviously work on both. The handheld is pretty much a Switch, but if you want something like a little bit more with a bit more grunt, you can play it on the console. And I woke up feeling like, oh shit,
that's what you want.
Damn. I actually woke up and went to Twitter. I'm like, is this like a sign? Did something actually happen while I was asleep? No, it didn't.
No.
But yeah. No, we're going to have a very exciting sort of start to next year, Josh. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be good. Looking forward to it.
But let's tone it down a little bit. Let's talk about games we've been playing, like, now, rather than what we're going to be playing God knows when next year. What you been playing, Josh?
Ooh, so I have been playing a bit of Tetris lately because the NSO drops the other week. They dropped the NES version of Tetris and then Tetris on the Game Boy Color. And then that really spurred me on to play a bit of Tetris 99. I was just really getting into the Tetris mood. So just been enjoying getting good at that again and getting them Tetraminos and scoring them high scores and all that kind of stuff. So that's been really fun just to do in between some things, because I've also done Vampire Survivor, done a lot of the Ode to Castlevania DLC. Harrison from Nintendo Therapy podcast got me onto his Harrison Talks show the other day, so I made sure to play a lot of it to get prepared for that. That is so fun. That's like Tetris for me. That's just like if I've got half an hour of time to kill, I'm just playing that, and so easy. Just you just move, just move. You can either try and get a high score in that time or try and explore the map, discover new secrets, whatever you want to do. It's a very fun and easy thing to do, and they did so well with the DLC for Castlevania, just with all the characters and the massive map and the music, the secrets, all the things that they nod to the series past was really well done. So I've been really appreciating that. And then Astrobot, ever since it got its Game of the Year win in the Game Awards, I thought I just need to get back into it. So I've played that the last few days since the Game Awards were announced. So yeah, just enjoying my 3D platformers. Like that winning Game of the Year in 2024 is a really cool throwback to when 25 years ago 3D platformers were king and ruled the gaming landscape. Astrobot cleaned up, didn't it? And I need to really enjoying that. I'm about 200 bots collected, so I'm still decent way in, but I still got a fair way to go still with all the DLC that comes later on. And there's even a new one that came out the other day, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I haven't turned it on since any of the speed running challenges or what came out the other day. I've been meaning to get back to them, but
you did it in like 5 days.
Yeah, I did it I
Yeah.
did the platinum in a week, I think.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's just such a treat just to sit down,
Mm.
like, after every night or went to bed, have the TV in the bedroom and I'll turn it on, I'll do a world, I'll collect all the bots in each level. And that was just a night. Just like, all right, focus on this one world and 100%. It just felt so good. The
Yeah.
dopamine hit before bed. Very nice. It was very good. Yeah, no, I
That's great.
love Astrobot. Obviously, we will be talking about this sort of when we go talk about the Game Awards a little bit, but I was so happy to see Astrobot win. I did not think
Yep.
it even had a chance of winning. Like, I wasn't like, oh, look,
Really?
no, I don't know why. It was just because, just because of the type of game it is. And yeah, I was just like, oh, look, I didn't even think it would win, but it's my personal game of the year. So
Yeah.
when they announced it, I finished work a little bit early. I was watching the last hour of the Game Awards just on my phone. And yeah, they announced it. I'm like, oh, I got like an audible, like, yes,
Yep.
yes. Like I was like pretty happy about it. I love it. I really sort of love it when like games I really love get the acknowledgement that they deserve. And it takes me back to like 2017 where I was like rooting so hard for Breath of the Wild to win. It was just like, come on, you can do it. Like, let's get that comeback over this whole year of 2017 with Nintendo, the launch of the Switch, all these games coming out, the Zelda franchise being more relevant than ever. It's like, come on, let's get that win. And I was so excited then too. But no,
It's so good.
Astrobot deserves it. It's a wonderful 3D platform. It really is.
Yeah, and so much love and care went into it, and even at the end when they did a little nod to Nintendo and the origins of platforming, I thought that was really a cool moment. They didn't say Nintendo, but the ones who created Mario, they said, and although back in the day, just paid homage to them, and was the inspiration for Astrobot. So, yeah, while Nintendo weren't very big at the Game Awards, they didn't do anything except that one little thank you commercial.
Yeah, they advertised.
Which they do every year.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's missed opportunity, but yeah, they got a nice little nod at the end from PlayStation and Team Asobi.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to see Nintendo there at all. It was funny because just before the show, I went to look like what the episode number we're up to is. Our last episode was Nintendo's quietest Game Awards, except for a big Metroid trailer ? And that was just that was sarcasm. Like, obviously, not expecting that because they're at a point where like they can't talk about anything Switch 2. They're not going to talk about Pokemon ZA. Talking about like what they do have lined up with a Donkey Kong Returns remake and Xenoblade X. It's like probably not too much to talk about. They got to wait. Yeah, because especially like this soon before Christmas, it's a little bit. Yeah, no, wouldn't be a good time, I don't think.
Yeah, I get you. And historically, they're not going to do really anything there. And yeah, it's just you kind of go into it hoping because Metroid I feel was the big opportunity, the one that made the most sense for them to include. But yeah, they don't need to pay money to do it because they'll just do a Nintendo Direct or they'll do a Twitter drop, and people will freak out the same either way.
I do think it is a good idea to like put these games in front of people that aren't like Nintendo people, like especially something like Metroid. Like, oh, what's this?
Definitely.
Like, this is very different. Yeah. So, yeah, I do think it's important because like a lot of games for me, like, I'm a big fan of gaming, obviously, and I'll probably tune in for a PlayStation State of Play, for example. But a lot of these other games, I probably won't tune into a showcase just on a random Tuesday or whatever, but I'm sat there, I'm watching the Game Awards and it piques my interest and I put it down on the wish list and all of that. Like it's important, but I guess Nintendo's relatively high in that totem pole where that's maybe a little bit more rare for them. People either know who they are or they don't give a shit at this point.
Correct.
Surely.
Yeah,
if you don't have a Switch now, it's like, well, you probably don't need one.
Your chance.
You're probably
You've
fine.
had your chance. It's been a few years now. Yeah.
Yeah, you had your chance, yeah.
Don't know if we want you now. No, I'm not going to gatekeep like that. But
Gatekeep, no, you're not allowed to have one.
You're not allowed in, yeah? No. anyone's welcome.
Somebody at this point is like, that Metroid games looks pretty good. It's like, mate, if you haven't got one, fuck off. Look, not welcome. It's like the most
little, too late,
accessible,
mate.
just like friendly family brand out there. And it's just like all these gatekeeping like 30 to 40-year-olds. Just no.
Oh, sure.
You can't play the new Pokemon game.
Buy your consoles day one, mate. Come on.
It's just for me.
Definitely. Obviously.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Sounds like you've got your hands full with some Astrobot. When do you reckon
Yes.
are you going to go for the platinum trophy? You're going to go for the 100%?
Was it hard?
No. It's just
You
just
just got to do
collect
everything,
things
don't
and
you? Collect everything.
Yeah,
get all the
collect
puzzle
everything pretty
pieces,
much.
get all the bots.
very fun, very good.
Yeah. I would like to. Yeah, definitely. I'm enjoying it like enough for me to want to do that for sure. So, and if I'm going to platinum a game, it would be something definitely like Astrobot. So, I think so. It would be one of those games I play in the break, keep going, and I'll have a good time doing that because it's great. Yeah, and I just dropped off of it because it was at that time of year because I remember Emio had come out a couple of weeks before. I think I had a bit of like I still hadn't quite finished it, or maybe I just finished it before Astrobot. But then Echoes of Wisdom came out, and all the I'm sure there was NSO drops as well, keeping me busy. So it was just that time of year where it kind of I wanted to keep playing, it just kind of fell off.
Yeah, I got to get back to Echoes of Wisdom. I feel like a perfect time to play that will be like between Christmas and New Year's. I
That
think
little week where the days don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely that. We'll see if it works out because I'll probably just be flat out with kids.
Yeah, family. We socialise a lot during that time. So it's we'll have time, but also a lot of seeing friends and family.
Yeah, so there'll be a bit of that. But I'm actually pretty nostalgic for A Link Between Worlds. That's when I played through that game. I was working hospitality and I would get home like God knows what time in the morning, and that'd be like the 3DS time, like to the early wee hours of the morning playing Link Between Worlds. And it was just so, these 2D Zelda games just so cozy, such a good fun time of year as well. Like just with our summer, like playing that out on the porch at my parents' place, it was just like really, really nice. So I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for that. See if that works out. I'm not working hospitality anymore. Or I won't be home late, but maybe that's probably actually a good thing because I'll actually have
HD
more time.
remaster of that would be awesome.
Would be.
Yep.
The only thing about it though is it's still really good on 3DS. So I'm kind of like I'm not that worried about it. Just as the second screen, the 3D effects really good. Like I'm kind of like it's kind of. Don't know. I can kind of see it still being better on 3DS, even if it does get ported. But just for people to be able to play it, I think obviously be great on Switch.
Oh yeah, get more people out to it for sure. Because I still feel it's underrated. Like I haven't played it personally, but I've seen footage that Michaela's played it and it looks amazing. So I need to get onto it.
Yeah. Do you have a copy?
Yeah. I'll just use hers. Yeah.
No, you can't do that. Can't do that, Josh.
Of course I can. I bought it for her, so I get to.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
One of the privileges of doing that is I get to play it
She's
myself.
like, no, Josh, I've used all the save files. You're not welcome.
No, there's a very, very many moments where my room gets stepped into and games get borrowed from not just Michaela, but friends and my brothers. And yep, bring it back when you're done.
Yeah, does she say like Michaela, your brothers, members of your family, they walk in and go, they're sort of looking around, pointing at the games, like, running their finger along. No. That game looks good.
Yes,
I would like to play that one.
Yes.
What games do they sort of lean towards? Like stuff they haven't played or stuff like from their childhood? Like, oh, you still got this game. They want to play that.
It's just Switch stuff mainly at the moment. So people just play stuff they want on the modern hardware. So a lot of the Pokemon games, 3 Mario, Zeldas, they're the main stuff.
Just go straight for the good stuff. I mean, they got taste, but also
I try.
Broaden
Don't
your
worry.
horizons a bit. You got to broaden your family's horizons a bit there, Josh.
No, I try to. It's they're a lot more casual. My brothers with it, obviously than us. I try to throw in a Pikmin every now and then, and it doesn't quite work out that way. I try. Don't worry. I try to do the good Lord's work when it comes to extending people's Nintendo catalog.
It's funny at your buck show. I think Pokemon come up somehow. It's like, and somebody like gave me like the dirty look, like, oh look, the new games suck. I'm like, oh yeah. I didn't know what to. No, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, I agree, but I still have fun with them. So I'm kind of like,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, there's a
I don't
couple
know
of them who
I
very
don't know what
much
to
hate
say.
it.
I don't
Yes.
disagree, but
I think I know the one or two that you might have said that to you.
yeah, like your brothers were talking about like the Game Boy Advance Pokemon games and stuff too, and
Yep.
it's funny. I
Nice.
forgot what one of your brothers was saying it, but he was saying like, oh look, he prefers Diamond Pearl, like the DS generation, compared to Gen 3 because there's the special and physical, or the physical and special split between like the stats and everything. I'm like, well, that's pretty in depth. That's like, yeah,
Yeah. They were
100%.
into it. Yep.
Yeah, really into it. Yeah,
Uh, um, Nick did IV, EV. He really got into that with X
yeah. I
and
think it
Y.
was Nick.
Yeah, Nick would have been telling you about that. So he really got into knowing what to do. So they both love it. I'd say they're more into it when they get into it than me. Like I played them all, and they might have skipped some generations, but when they get into it, they fixate, get into details, and do everything they want to get every ounce out of that game.
Yeah, it is very satisfying. I remember like Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I got into EV training, and EV training, just for anybody that doesn't know, which is probably a lot of people, because it's very laborious, especially back then. But literally, like, so many EV points, so effort values make up like 1 point for a stat. So I would literally be like killing Goldeen after Goldeen after Goldeen with my Tyranitar, because, like, say, I forgot what the math worked out to be, but let's just say for this example that every three every three Goldeen you kill, you get like one EV, and that sort of all adds up together, and eventually when you level up, you go up by like 20 points or something in that specific stat, and you got to like allocate your certain stats, and it was very complicated and very time consuming. I was just grinding, when you're a kid and whatever. But I remember specifically with my Tyranitar, it was so cool because like I had a battle with Bryce. I remember we were at badminton and we had the DSs. I'm like, all right, Bryce, time for a battle, and he had his Dragonite.
Yep. Nice.
And he thought he was gonna just absolutely get my Tyranitar. He had like Ice Beam or something, or whatever on his on his Pokemon, and he thought he had me. But no, I outsped him and just fucking smacked him.
Hey, nice.
I'm like, yeah, well, this 50 hours of grinding my team really paid off, eh? That's why in
so
Sword
good.
and Shield, where you can just like buy all of the what are they called? Vitamins and things, and you can just EV train like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've dumbed it down a lot, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. No way would I want to do it the old way, like how you described. I just can't. No.
I mean, I couldn't now, but yeah, I would just be I was just mad on Pokemon.
Yeah, and a lot of people were, and even those who do shiny hunts and want to get a shiny dex, like that's that's next level as well. That's unreal.
Yeah, I couldn't do the shiny dex. That's pushing it a bit.
Crazy.
Yeah, especially like how many Pokemon there are now. There's over 1,000 Pokemon, so
yeah, it gets harder and harder, doesn't it? It's never going to get easier to do the total number,
because it's a big effort to get like a living dex, just like a normal living dex. You get one of each Pokemon. With. But yeah, having them shiny, just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it is.
But anything else you've been playing before I jump in?
That's the main stuff. Mario and Luigi a little. I want to keep going with that though. So that's my the main stuff right there.
I want to jump into Mario and Luigi, but I've like back in October I ordered a Nintendo Switch Lite OLED screen kit to like
yes, that's
redo
right.
the screen.
Yeah.
And it hasn't shipped yet. It was meant to ship in November, and
Mm.
I've been following on Twitter. They've this, it's just a slow process because they test each one, send it out, and it comes with like
but
it comes
it's
with,
legit, is it?
yeah, it comes with
Yeah.
like with a HDMI mod as well, which I think they're having a little bit of trouble with as far as
Okay.
working. So it seems like it's been delayed a little bit for that reason. But
Yeah.
I am very excited for that to come in because
That'll look good when that's
I'm going to
done.
be doing like a complete shell swap, and it's so the shell's going to be black, and I got to tell you, dude, like it looks so clean, it looks so nice, and yeah, the OLED screen's going to be awesome, and don't know, I can't wait to have it. And I kind of want to play Mario and Luigi on that, like a nice bright OLED
Yeah.
screen, but on a small little Switch Lite. So I'm kind of wanting to play it on that. The idea of playing it on the TV or just on my OLED Switch, I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Just a weird little OCD thing for me. I guess.
Well, it's a handheld series until technically now, so
Yeah.
I get you.
I've been going through like a little bit of a handheld sort of thing lately, because like the main thing I've been playing is actually my analog pocket. Been really enjoying playing this.
Ooh, nice.
And last time we talked, Josh, I was like, I don't know what to play. Like I've got so many games. I've got so many games that I
Yes.
want to play before the end of the year, but nothing's really grabbing me. And especially at the moment where when it's time to game, I've got negative energy. I'm like absolutely
Yeah.
wrecked. So it's got to be something that's just I guess just comfort gaming in some point. So that's exactly what I did. I'm playing Pokemon on the analog pocket, and I'm playing a very special game actually.
Emerald.
I'm playing Pokemon Emerald, but I went
Yes.
to Etsy and I actually got a physical copy of Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass. So I'm going to hold it up to the camera, Josh, so you can see it. It's a little bit blurry, but yeah, it's a really great looking cartridge. I can't take it out because I think it's still running.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass got
Sea
a physical
glass.
cartridge of it, and it's really great because like all these ROM hacks are really great, but I think actually having like a physical cart legitimizes it a lot. So it doesn't feel like you're just playing like a
I get you.
like a
Yeah.
ROM necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have a physical copy. And Emerald Sea Glass, it's a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald, and sort of the main draw for it is that the game has been completely redressed to look like a Pokemon, I guess like a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, it's like a demake
version
in
of
a
it.
way, technically.
Yeah, a bit of a demake for the Game Boy Advance game. And
Cool.
it's just absolutely stunning. Like I love the way it looks. All the Pokemon sprites have been redone.
Looks like an in-between between if they did another series on Game Boy Color, this is what it would look like because it'd have better coloring or something. I don't know.
It's actually kind of interesting because looking
Cool.
back at like the Pokemon leak that happened earlier this year, looking at sort of the beta designs and things for Ruby and Sapphire, Ruby and Sapphire originally looked like a little bit better version of Crystal, where it still looked like Game Boy Color, but then when like the final designs come in, you can say like, oh look, this looks much more improved. It looks like what you would expect maybe from the Super Nintendo compared to
Yeah.
not really NES, not quite that big a jump necessarily, but yeah, you know what I sort of mean by that. So yeah, it's been completely redone. Just the pixel art is gorgeous. The person that actually put this together, it's a one person. They're a programmer, and they actually like commissioned a lot of artists and paid a lot of artists and that to do this. So they basically put together, I guess, all of the artwork and the assets and things together, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So that's what drew me in.
Yeah.
But on top of that, just like the quality of life features, they've like added them all to this game, which is great. So you've got like the EXP share. So if you want to use that, a bunch of things from more modern games. It's got like the Dex nav, if you remember that from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So you go into a route and you can use that, and you can see what Pokemon are there, and you click on the Pokemon that you want, and the grass rustles, and you go up to it, and you can do that. You can do shiny chaining and all of that stuff with it. It's great. So yeah, it's Pokemon Emerald, but with like a bunch of stuff added to it, and quality of life features on top of like a really unique sort of awesome pixel art. So yeah, I've been playing that
Yeah.
basically the last week. I put 20 hours into it. I've literally just saved in front of the champion. So yeah, we're going through it, and
Hell yeah.
it's really cool because like the legendaries that were like, they were event Pokemon back in the day, like Ho-Oh, Lugia, all of this. It looks like they're all in the game. You can just access them from the harbor, and you can go to the islands and do them. So yeah, just looks like there's a bunch of post game content, and yeah, no, it's just really good, really good. I love it. It's I was thinking about this, like this is probably like the best Pokemon game I've played in years. And it's actually it's amazing seeing like the ROM hack community for Pokemon, because they are truly just making the games that the fans want. And I do understand that this is coming from a 30-year-old who, you know, not who's just like the typical millennial at this point, where it's like, oh, look, I remember when they looked like little pixel boys and they used to beep and bop. Now they're all 3D and all this stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
truly, I truly do feel like the characters and everything, it just comes through much more playful and fun and a lot more personality back when it had like the pixel art.
Yeah.
Personally,
That's cool. Is
Yeah.
So you bought it. Have Nintendo tried to take this down at all? How does this work in terms of
So I bought it on
loopholes?
Etsy. So I bought it on Etsy. It's just this was through like somebody who just makes physical carts for ROM hacks and unofficial, I guess. Yeah.
So the ROM's not
games.
on the cart. Do you have to put it on yourself?
Oh no! It
or-
came on. I
It
didn't have
is
to do
on.
anything. I took it out the
Okay.
package. I clicked it in, and
Cool.
just played away. I was wondering whether it would be like the most recent version of the game, and it looks like it is. It's 3.0, which I believe
Version
is
3,
the
yep.
the most recent update for the game. But yeah, very very impressed. Like yeah, there's just it's probably even like it's probably like the version of Emerald I probably actually want to go and play through whenever I want to play it, because it's just got all those quality of life updates, and all of the Pokemon up to that point are in the game. So the diversity of like making teams is just so much greater, because like you can catch pretty much everything. I've got like 250 Pokemon just going through the game, and typically I check the Dex Nav, see what's in that route, and I catch everything. And in your room, you know how like the character has like a GameCube in their room, and
Yeah.
you click on it, and it says, "Oh,
Yeah.
look, a GameCube, cool." Well, when I clicked on it, it said, "Oh, you know, Drew activated the cheat device, and you can put in a code." I'm like, "Oh, what's this?" And you can there's codes that you can put in that give you like 99 rare candies, 99 master
Yep.
balls, all of this type of thing. And I'm like, "Oh, cool! Like, why not?" I'm looking
Yeah.
for like a nice, chill, fun Pokemon
Yeah.
adventure. I'm not looking for like a real hard
You
game.
don't want to
where
grind too much.
Yeah. So, for the most part, if the Pokemon doesn't go in the Great Ball after a couple of times, I'm like, oh, Master Ball, chuck it straight in.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Get in the ball.
Yeah, get in the ball and that type of thing, and yeah, have the rare candies. So I don't go crazy with them, but you know, just to like even up the levels and that every now and again after a gym, use the rare candies. So yeah, no, it's just been the experience that I've really needed, just because nothing was really driving with me. I just needed some gaming comfort food,
Yeah.
and
There's
especially
nothing
like
wrong with that.
especially
Any
like this,
time.
where it is that comfort food, but it is also like a brand new experience as well, just from the visuals and everything that's been updated. And they've even added like some like mini games. There's in a Pacificlog town, which you can actually go to early. When you get to Slateport City, you can actually get a ride straight to Pacificlog City, and there's like a mini game similar to in Gold and Silver, like the bug catching contests. There's this thing called the Scuba Safari, where you go underwater and you've got to catch like the rarest 5 Pokemon, and it's a competition between you and 2 other NPCs, which is really cool. And like go under there, and I actually found you can find like the fossils and Huntail, Gorbius, Relicanth, all of these rare Pokemon, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was just stuff like that they've added, like just like some fun mini game content as well, some side quests and things. I'm just really impressed. Like, yeah, my favorite game of all time. It's just been added to and in some ways improved, which is really cool. I kind of wish there was an option to play like what they've done, but with like just the normal Pokemon Emerald graphics, because I'm very pro that as well. Obviously, I'm very nostalgic for that.
It was a great jump from Gen 2 to 3.
Yeah,
in the looks for sure.
Yeah, but I just love what they've done with everything else as well. I think it's just really great. And I looked at an interview just from the developer. I forgot exactly what the developer's name was, but I found an interview just on YouTube, and apparently they're making their own, from the ground up Pokemon game as well with this art style, with these assets. So I don't know. I'm kind of
nice.
I've been like digging around just like at the ROM hacking scene for Pokemon and all of that. It's very in depth, which is awesome. There's a lot of people.
There, and you get your fix, for what you want in a Pokemon game as well, because Nintendo don't seem to be making it.
Yeah, it is interesting where it's like, fans are really making the games that fans want.
Yeah.
Like even for this, there's you go to your PC and you can select some settings just for your game. You can have it so there's a level cap. I decided not to have a level cap, but you can have a level cap so you can't get way stronger than like the gym, for example. There's a hard mode and a normal mode. I put it on hard mode. That just gives gym leaders a few extra Pokemon and a few higher levels. Yep. They've actually got good EVs and IVs, so they're quite strong. Yep. Which is a good thing. But yeah, just really impressed with it, and it's so cool. Like I mentioned before, so cool to actually have it physically, playing it on the analog pocket. And the first thing I put it into was my Game Boy Advance SP, which was really cool just to see it on my like childhood device. But I was played these games back
Still
on
works.
in the day. It's funny because it went flat, my SP, and I didn't have the charger anywhere nearby. So saved it, turned it off, put it into the analog pocket. Oh my god, the analog pocket screen is just
so much better.
Oh, it's crazy how much better it is. It's just like
leaps and bounds. Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
That's awesome.
Before I jumped into it, I tried some other things. I was playing Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team on Nintendo Switch Online. I was playing that a little bit.
Ooh. Yep.
And I absolutely love that game. Had a lot of fun with it back in the day. Actually I played Blue Rescue Team on DS. Not that there's much of a difference at all, but that's the version I played. But yeah, I was playing that a little bit on Switch Lite, and I think that's all I've really been doing. Oh, I played some Pokemon Colosseum as well. I got the furthest I've ever gotten in that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What mode were you doing?
What mode? Can you choose modes?
Sorry, I'm thinking, XD. You're doing
what modes can you do in XD? That's interesting. I didn't know there's modes.
Sorry, I'm thinking at the end of the game you can do the whole battle tower. It's not a battle tower, but it's like
like
name of it now.
Consecutive
like
battles,
keep going up the levels. You keep going up the ramps, kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh well, I'm nowhere near that.
There's a battling mode separately, isn't there as well?
Yeah,
You're
I
just
think
doing
so.
the story.
Yeah, just doing the story. Yeah. It didn't grab me like straight away. I haven't like gone back to it. It hasn't like grabbed me like straight away. But it's really cool having like the shadow Pokemon and like, all right, when you go into a trainer battle, it's like, all right, which one can I catch? And when it comes out and your partner sort of reveals it for you, like, all right, I'll try and catch that. It's an interesting sort of dynamic actually having a battle where you're trying to catch a Pokemon. So you're trying to stay alive while trying to catch Pokemon, because it isn't just a wild Pokemon and you can send out, your
stealing
tank.
someone's Pokemon.
Yeah. Because
they stole it.
A lot of these Pokemon like that you're trying to catch on the other side team, the catch rate's quite low. So yeah, you're trying to sort of hold on and not lose the battle while, just trying to not get knocked out yourself. So yeah, no, it's a pretty cool dynamic. I like it. But yeah, my Pokemon experience that I really wanted was on the Game Boy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I want to get more of these. With a Sea Glass Emerald, I got Liquid Crystal, which is basically Crystal being remade in the Fire Red Leaf Green engine.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that one as well, because I don't know much about it, to be honest with you, but I bought it.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. Give it a go.
Yeah. And like these custom made carts, like the only reason I can't tell that they're not like an actual game is just like when you shake it, it doesn't shake. Because like for most Game Boy Advance games, you hear like a bit of a rattle. Like this one, you don't hear anything.
Yep.
But yeah, apart from that, I'm like, yeah, because obviously depending on like the seller and who actually makes them, they vary quite a bit. But man, this one looks good. But yeah, it's just such a, especially like cartridges, it's such a cool thing to be able to get the cartridge, put it into the actual hardware. You've got the physical game, and then you can play something that was made like this year or last year. It's really cool. Like
it's pretty
I think like Nintendo 64 as well would be especially fun to do that for. Like you can get like, you know, a crazy version of Super Mario 64 and you can get it like on a cartridge and play it on Nintendo 64 or like this new analog product that's coming out where you're playing Nintendo 64 games at 4K with the actual Nintendo 64 controller and like your original game. Like, yeah, like same with like Zelda Ocarina of Time. There's so many ROM hacks and things of that. Like, it's a really fun scene to, you know, sort of get into, especially if you're somebody who, like, you know, every now and again you sort of want to take a little bit of a break from just like modern gaming, just because like just sometimes it's nice to take a step back and play something like that's either a bit more comforting, maybe an experience from your childhood, or maybe you're just spending a little bit too much money in Fortnite. You need to step it back. Whatever the reason is, it's kind of neat to be like, all right, I want to play a brand new, different version of Ocarina of Time. You just step back and have the physical cart, click it in, and do it that way. And that's kind of what I'm having with the Analog Pocket, because you can download these games and put them onto your phone. But having the actual physical cart, click it in, spend like tens of hours with it, and have a different experience that's like a remixed version of something that you've loved your whole life. It's really cool.
Yeah, and you're going to be more motivated to play it if you bought it as well and have that physical cart with you. There is a whole psychology to that. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, I just need to beat the champion. Wallace is waiting.
You got this, man.
Thanks, man. I've gotten through the Elite Four.
Rare candies.
Yeah, that's right. Just rare candy level 100 and go from there.
All right, till later.
Yeah, I got a pretty cool team because in the cheats, it like I mentioned at your GameCube, there's one for like all of the starters from each region. So I'm like, oh well, I want to play with all of the Holland starters. So I chose Trico, and I did the cheat and got Torchic and Mudkip. So I've got all the starters. Then I've got Gardevoir, which I was going to evolve it into a what's his name again? What's the other ones? Gallade? Yeah, Gallade. I was going to do a Gallade, but then I'm like, oh, but I kind of prefer the fairy typing over the fighting typing since I got Blaziken. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a Gardevoir. I got Skarmory, and I'm trying to think, what's his name again? Oh, Frostlass.
Yes.
Evolved my Snorunt into a Frostlass, which is neat. Some Pokemon that don't actually exist in those games, but now they do.
Yeah. No, awesome. I've used them a couple of times back in the day. So yeah, there's some cool Pokemon. And is the sprite work really good? Have they like reimagined it a bit more, like a bit more detailed? How does it compare?
Yeah, I think it just brings you back to like the Game Boy games, and it looks better than the Game Boy games, like you mentioned. Like some of like the battle stages, the backgrounds are just so detailed. They look awesome. Like they look much better than any 2D Pokemon game. Like just like. Yeah, just the amount of detail in the back, like whether you're on the pond or you're on the sea, you're inside. Like there's one for all of it, which looks really great. So yeah, absolutely love the art style. But me talking about this, what are some games you would love to get that's been like ROM hacked, for example? Like what's something you'd want to go back to? Would you want to try like, I don't know, Mario 64, but like with completely different levels, or what's something that you would think would be pretty cool to have like as like a physical cartridge as well. Like even like a Metroid game, there'll be so many Metroid games that have like had that treatment.
Yeah. The slight control oldness of Super Metroid gets to me these days. Like that's a perfect game, but the controls slightly feel a little old to me. So I'm sure there exists a ROM hack where they've fixed that. So I think that'd be very cool for me anyway, playing that. I get the same with Super Mario 64. I find that hard to get back to these days in terms of the controls and how to move around. So anything to do with that would be massive. But that's boring stuff, isn't it? That's just like the controls and the feel of it. You know, like Pokemon excites me a lot because you can, there's so much to do there, and there's so many things that go wrong or people like want fixed in the game that they just don't do. And so the fact that you can, don't have to do the Nuzlocke yourself. You can create, like, you can go into get a ROM hack and, play these games exactly, in a more mature way most of the time, or, in a more skillful or, difficult way. I think it's really cool. AM2R, that's the big one for Metroid. Another Metroid 2 remake of the sequel. And, that was a whole history there. Nintendo taking it down before Nintendo released Samus Returns on the 3DS. So I would love to play that one. I think that would be a really cool one to play. I've even seen Metroid Prime done in terms of a Game Boy Advance game, was it? I can't remember now. It was kind of like a 2D way to do a Metroid Prime game, which is pretty cool. So yeah,
I've seen that one. Yeah,
like that.
I think it was like a PC version of it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that did look cool. Like that takes a lot of work to sort of try and reimagine that and re-put it into a 2D setting. Yeah, for sure. I think one that I saw on Etsy as well was like an actual cartridge for Mother 3. Like that'd be nice. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes, that would be cool. That
For
would
the
be
English
because I've got it
translation.
on. Because I bought the pizza and play it ROM emulator, whatever you call it, on my phone, and then I've got a new phone since, so I need to buy it again to get it. So I should just get the Etsy cartridge of Mother 3 and play it on original hardware or something. That'd be cool.
What Game Boy Advance do you have, or would it be a DS?
So I've got the purple one there, just below the microphone.
Yes.
And then the DS would work. They're the ones.
They're the ones.
I don't have an SP. My brother's had an SP. I don't have a micro. It'd probably be on the DS because I think just a bit more of a backlight would be enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing Bryce's Game Boy Advance, and I was like, I can't see it. Like, I could not see it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine playing a game on it. Like if I played through my Pokemon games on that, and I'd see like the character, and like the battle scenes, I could see like select my moves and like a bit of the sprites, but I literally couldn't see what was going on whenever I picked it up.
Yeah. So I think get the 101 Game Boy Advance SP, the backlight or something. Would be the way to go.
Oh, the 101 would be nice. Yeah, it was funny because my SP, my childhood SP is like the duller version. So there's two versions of the SP that had different screens. That it wasn't advertised or anything, but you could just read it on the bottom of the system. So there was the duller one, which is the 001, which just had like it wasn't backlit. It was just like lit. The lights were on the sides and sort of shone the lights onto it and lit it up that way.
Yeah.
Whereas the 101 sort of lit it from the back, and it was just so much more bright and clear and just better in every way. And I remember when I was a kid looking at my friends, and I was like, "Why does your screen look so much better?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And that was kind of it. I was like, "Oh, well, I don't know. Don't know why it does."
Yeah, we don't know, but mine's better.
Yeah. But like, getting into like the sort of the modding scene and the retro scenes, like the 101s are the ones to get. Like this, I was like, "Oh, that's why Jordan's SP looks so much better."
That was the reason. Yeah, back in the day.
There you go. That was fun. But speaking of the original Game Boy Advance, there's a company called Ambernick that make like a bunch of like these cheap
Ambernick.
handhelds, and they've actually made one which is like identical to the Game Boy Advance, but it's got like a couple of extra buttons on it here and there. But apart from that, it's like it looks exactly the same. It's got the same shape. It's got a screen that's the right aspect ratio for Game Boy Advance games, and I'm so tempted to pick one up. I don't know how much.
It looks like a natural SP. Oh
Yeah,
wow!
so there's one that looks like an SP, but it's a little bit different. The SP version's a little bit thicker and things, but
It's got four buttons.
yeah. But the Game Boy Advance one looks identical, and I'm kind of like, that's awesome. I kind of want to get it just to at least kind of have it, because it looks exactly like it, but it's just like, yeah, put an SD card in it and play whatever you want, pretty much up to PlayStation 1, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you better put like
awesome.
the whole library of Game Boy Advance games on it and play it.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Get a whole bunch. 11% off at the moment, Drew. Get on it.
11%.
Games.com.au.
Yeah. So yeah. Nintendo Switch Online, do you reckon we'll see the Pokemon games, Game Boy Advance games come out next year?
Not next year, no.
I'm playing everything. I'm playing them on literally everything except for the Switch. Come on, just give it to me there.
I still believe there'll be a separate, I don't know, advance. I don't know. GBA's on the expansion tier, so maybe. Unless they do another tier again and get Pokemon a separate widget channel for that. I don't know.
That's fine. I don't even mind buying them separately. Just cross the mighty.
No, I'm the same. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather that than nothing.
I'm here I've been waving my credit card, just like Game Freak.
That's right. You're spending all this money on all these other games where they could just be charging you $10, $15 a pop to some of these OG ones on the Switch.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Is what it is. Yep.
It's what it is.
I think it'll happen eventually. They did it for 3DS.
Yeah, they did.
And
they did do it for 3DS, and they're like, that's it.
Yep, no more after that.
That'll do.
That will do. That will do. Correct.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do.
That's enough of me rambling on, I guess. But I guess let's end the show just talking about the Game Awards, Josh. Don't have to go over everything, and we certainly won't because that'll be a long time.
Yeah.
But did you watch the Game Awards? What did you think of the Game Awards? For me, I really enjoyed it. Probably one of the best Game Awards for a long time. I think they sort of nailed the announcements. They nailed the awards portion of it, and a lot of sort of bits in between were a lot of fun as well. Like the self degrading humor, which was a lot of fun towards Jeff Keighley, which was great, and especially towards the end where like two announcements in a row were just like huge ones for me. So I'm like, well, Jesus. So yeah, I reckon it's pretty much top marks from me. Really liked it. Bunch of games I'm looking forward to playing. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, yes, I watched this while at work during the day. So this is a fun late Friday morning.
Boy.
I know. It's like everyone's watching the cricket on at the moment at work. It's just one of those things. Yeah, like I watched it, like interested to see what was there, but also, you know, you're kind of sneakily hoping Nintendo does something. So like, you know, there's a chance. Obviously that didn't happen, and that's fine. I think we all expected that to be the case, but there was always the chance it could have gone the other way. But yeah, I watched the last couple of shows, and this one's definitely the best one. Definitely the best one so far, and just felt, you know, the pacing was better. I think the big thing from last year was, you know, they didn't give enough people time to speak, and they just sort of, you know, wanted the celebrity sort of people to come in and talk more so, and that's what they favoured. This was a bit more, I think they got the balance a bit right. You know, I still think they sort of, you know, really shotgun through awards in the name of getting more ads and more game announcements out. But I think for most people, that's probably what they're there for. And yeah, some pretty big stuff announced. I don't recall a game award with such, you know, high caliber things being announced as, you know, a sequel to Akami and then The Witcher 4. and then what Naughty Dog are working on, that's pretty amazing stuff right there. Intergalactic looks interesting. I want to see a bit more before I really get too excited. It has the potential to be amazing for sure. Even the one, what was this superhero comedy crossover game that looked interesting and funny? Like even that was like that piqued my interest.
Are you talking about Dispatch?
I can't remember if that was the name or not. It was when Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, that guy was with the other lady. And they were doing the banter back and forth. Don't look at me kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it was for that. That was really that was getting a little bit awkward, wasn't it? It's like, oh Jesus, so we went to be watching.
Yeah, it went for a little while, but it went for about 20 seconds too long. I reckon that stuff. But yeah, I thought it was really well done, and that he did a good job, and yeah, I'm with you. I appreciate the self-deprecating stuff with the Muppets that throughout, and kind of a fun way to sort of like they just called out the main critiques people had over the Game Awards in the past, or how Keeley hosts it, and it kind of just shows Keeley hears it. I'm going to call out and make fun of it. I still find he awkwardly doesn't know how to respond to it every time it happens to him on the stage. He knows it's coming. I find it funny, but he kind of he gets the impression like, no, that's fine. You can make fun of me for it. That's fine. Even I think I'm more friends with Kojima than what Kojima thinks he's friends with me. Stuff like that. So yeah, it was good. And I even saw some people hack into the whole Game Changers award and how that person he did a great service to help other people in the industry find work, and that was one of the more somber moments, hearing him speak and talk to why he was doing it and why he loves video games so much. That was a great moment. I saw some people online sort of hack into it and say it's just a way to make people show that they're caring. The Game Award cares in that way when it doesn't really mean much, but I don't think it takes anything away, sort of acknowledging how cool and awesome that person was and what they did and what they've done for the industry, at least anyway. So, yeah, I thought it was great. I thought, yeah, they've really sort of learnt from the critiques and the feedback in the past, and Jeff did a great job.
Yeah, because for the most part, I quite enjoy the Game Awards, but last year was just such a special year for game releases, and I was just really looking forward to seeing celebrate the developers who made these awesome games. And last year was just a disaster as far as the actual awards part go, where they're actually asking people to please wrap it up. And Tears of the Kingdom won one award. Enuma went up. He had a translator, so obviously it takes a little bit longer to get his point across. And he barely got to say a fucking thing before he got kicked off. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, correct.
This is Enuma's time to talk about Tears of the Kingdom at the award show for the award it just won, and he gets booted off. It was the same for all the developers, even at Larian Studios, who won Game of the Year for Baldur's Gate 3, and they barely got to say anything. We're talking about some guy who died during COVID making the game because all that type of thing, and they're wrap it up, fuck this shit off. It's just ridiculous.
That's all right. We've got celebrity coming on.
So it was good to see that they sort of took that step back a little bit and actually allowed people to actually talk, because that's where most of the good moments come from. Obviously, you got the reveals. It's exciting. We want to see what we're going to be playing over the next, don't know, some of these could be next 8 years. Some of these games,
yeah, maybe.
For example, Okami. It's that's awesome, very exciting, but it's just going into development.
Witcher 4 as well. That's not going to be next year or the year after, surely.
That's right. And Naughty Dog's game, Intergalactic. No date on it. God knows.
Yeah, no idea.
Bare minimum another 2 years for that one. So yeah,
probably.
There's a lot of games we'll be waiting on, but be cool to see anyway. I think for me, I'm a big Naughty Dog fan, so seeing Intergalactic, I'm awesome, cannot wait. I think how the trailer ended with, the main character Jordan sort of unveiling that cool sword and gone to hit that robot thing. I'm like, oh my god, can't wait. I've got so much faith in Naughty Dog as far as what they're capable of.
Cool.
So very excited for that. But Okami 2, dude. It's are you serious?
It's massive. Finally. How long's that been? 15 years in the making, at least.
Yeah, we came out the same year as Twilight Princess. So yeah, 2006.
18, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like if that wasn't exciting enough, it's like, Hideki Kamiya is going to be the director. So he's left
Yeah.
Platinum. So he left Clover Studios at Capcom to found Platinum Games, and obviously things at Platinum Games weren't working out too well. So he's come back to Capcom and set up a brand new team called Clovers,
Yes.
and he's making this game, which is I'm like, so yeah, got the
Full
director
circle.
back. It's not just like, oh look, Capcom's just chucking a team together. Like they've got pretty much got the band back together.
Yeah, ready to do it again.
So yeah, Okami to me, like honestly, I've never finished it, but it's a very special game to me. When I played it, it's just the art style, like how just humorous the game is, and yeah, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite games that I haven't finished.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know.
I've never played it. I need to play it.
I feel weird when I say it's one of my favorite games because I truly haven't haven't finished it. So it's a
There's
weird
more
thing
to
to say.
experience. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to go back and finish it. The first time I played it was on Wii, and since then it's had HD remasters everywhere, including Switch. So yeah, I definitely need to play it soon, but I think I've got plenty of time before the sequel comes out, so I'm not too fussed about that. So I played Okami Den as well.
He left Platinum a year ago, didn't he?
Left a while ago, but he was hush on where he went or what he was doing.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes, and this is the reason why.
So yeah, Switch 2 game, hopefully, surely.
I'd like to think so, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, very cool.
As far as some announcements go, what are some that got your attention? So obviously we had those two. I think The Witcher, I'm not like a massive Witcher fan. I haven't played much of Witcher 3. I sort of started it and I was very impressed by it and did some side quests that took me down some rabbit holes story-wise. I was like, wow, this is very impressive. And I remember what happened. This was back when I lived on the farm. And a massive update came out for The Witcher 3 and it changed how the menus worked and a bunch of this stuff because the game at launch was pretty cumbersome, just as far as like going for the menus and equipping items and things. And a massive update sort of fixed that, but I couldn't download it. So I sort of went, oh, look, don't worry about it. And I fell off of it because of that, because I couldn't download the update.
Really? Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, how quaint. Those, 2015, a little bit different now. I'll probably just turn it on. Oh, look, it's updated. No, I'll just keep playing.
Yeah, correct.
Because I was even thinking like, it would be good to have this game on Wii U because I could just have the menu down there and play it like that. Especially after playing like Wind Waker, where it's like you're just doing everything on the fly, but not really stopping what you're doing.
Yeah, you can still do both at once. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did not get a Wii U port.
No. Not going to lose any sleep over that either.
But yeah, I was very impressed by The Witcher 4. It was a very sort of captivating sort of little story that they told basically about, this girl being, I guess, what do you call it? Brain's dying a bit. Sacrificed to like the forest monster or something, and Ciri, that I guess the new protagonist, is going to save her and take down the monster.
Yeah.
And comes back and she's been killed by the village folk, and basically explains that, monsters come in all shapes and sizes. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I'd like to play that in 4 years. Thank you very much.
Yeah, in one day. Correct.
And the game too, Dispatch as well, where you it's like it's made by Telltale devs. It's that choice-based game where you're playing as like a superhero or somebody that dispatches superheroes. Bit like, emergency services person.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That look cool.
Looked at that. Rematch by the Sifu team, Slow Clap. Making a soccer game. That looked fun. Yeah, a bunch of stuff here, but yeah. What about you?
Yeah, the ones I mentioned before, Dispatched, and then Intergalactic caught my eye. Obviously, Akami, massive announcement. Yeah, so that was the main stuff. Nothing immediate though. That's coming out soonish or anything that really interested me. Nothing got Shadow Drop, did it, or anything like that?
Uh,
I did
there's
some
some,
DLC things.
yeah, there's some updates for like Helldivers 2. There was there
Yeah,
was a drop. Can't think of anything else. Nothing that like made me have
something's
to.
coming up for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, isn't there? There's a new multiplayer mode for Elden Ring.
It's a whole new game for Elden Ring.
It's a whole new game, is it?
Yeah, which is pretty interesting. Everybody sort of lost. Nobody was expecting that. A whole new standalone multiplayer sort of. It's almost like a roguelite. Sort of, you choose from 7 predetermined characters or classes. Then like you go into the world with your friends and you got to take down bosses. And I think it's like pretty much a little bit random in some ways. It's like the world's random, and there's Dark Souls 3 bosses and things that a lot of fans have seen in there. So a lot of people are sort of very excited about it. But yeah, for me, I am not a Elden Ring stan, at least at the time of recording this.
No. I'll get through the game first before anything beyond.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's like the main things for me. But yeah, those last two just sort of like, just absolutely amazed me. Just like, all right, Okami 2, Naughty Dog's next game of an Astrobot 1. I'm like, holy crap! Like last 15 minutes, just sort of just sucker punched me. Like, ooh, I wasn't expecting that.
It's pretty good. It was pretty good. Jeff got very excited announcing Okami. That was like, the thing for him, I felt. So
Yeah,
that was a very special moment for him.
Would have been crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, like, personally, what's his history? Is that like one of his favorite games, or?
Yeah, I'm interested to know that.
Yeah. Probably, it would have come out probably during his time in games journalism.
Yeah.
So
that might have been one of the closer ones to his heart then for something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah, a bunch of great games, but yeah, I think as far as like ones that I'm very, very keen for, it will be them.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some good stuff coming.
Yeah, we just got to wait for a Nintendo Direct early next year. We'll get some bangers from Nintendo, but they were absent again. I guess a bit of a prediction just for a year's time. Next year, Nintendo's going to have a lot to say. Do you reckon they'll be at the Game Awards next year to show anything? Could be just like an update to a game that's already out. Could be anything. But do you reckon they'll show up again? Because it's been such a long time since they've been there. It's been like since 2018.
Yeah.
Oh no, they had a Bayonetta Cereza, didn't they?
Yeah, they've had that. And then the Breath of the Wild stuff early on, wasn't it? Potentially. Yeah, I don't know. It's they're always weird with it. So unless Jeff can find a way to convince them to do it, it has to be for something I really think would work better at the Game Awards, and so I just don't know what they would announce next time now.
I wonder if that's a year like this would help too, like it being really good and just a lot of positive reception to it. I wonder if it will sort of encourage maybe someone like Nintendo who's a little bit more on the bench. See if we'll get them off the bench to actually get them to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought, now would have been a great time to announce something, but, they might not have it, or they're just not ready to prepare to do it this way. So, yeah, I thought it made a lot of sense this year to announce something, especially Metroid Prime 2 if they had it ready, but, we just don't know the reasoning.
Yeah, cheeky little shadow drop, Metroid Prime 2.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for it. Kind of hoping.
Kinda. Yeah, well, didn't get it, did you?
Nah, next time.
Are they going to really roll into
exists.
Prime 4 and not give us an option to play 2 and 3?
Well, that's what I'm thinking more and more now. Like, because we're going to get Prime 4 next year sometime. And, I don't think Nintendo announces too many games over a year in advance. I'm thinking Prime 4 is coming in the first half of the year. So, they announced it all the way back in June. So, I don't know. You want to think early this year then the 2-3 bundle that's been so heavily rumored.
Yeah, because they can't put them too close together because then
that's right.
I'll be sick of one of them anyway. If I play through like 2, I'll be straight to 3.
And especially if it's bundled with 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what, in Feb next year, it's been 2 years since the Prime Remastered came out. So, earlier this year would have been a great time to announce the bundle. So I don't know why they haven't, unless they haven't done it.
Yeah,
That's
I would
my
have been
worry.
very confident in at least one of them this year.
Correct.
Like, very confident.
I was very confident, and then it just didn't happen.
Oh, well.
So I don't know what's happening.
Can't predict these things, can you?
No, especially Nintendo. They always find a way to surprise you.
Like, no, we won't do
You
that.
think you see a pattern, and then, no, it's not there. You got no idea.
Oh, well. Maybe they're going to sort of just pretend 2 and 3 don't exist, and they just go off like...
I'm more and more thinking Prime 1's the main one, and that gives you the feel and taste for it. And, you'll be fine enough to get into 4, but I don't know.
It's just it plays
you
off...
You need to play 3 to understand why Sarlacc wants to be there. I don't know.
I was going to say, it plays off like directly from the ending of 3, from what I understand.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yes.
That theory doesn't line up either.
No.
Oh, well.
Yep.
Well,
2 should have been out this year. I should have already played and completed Echoes by now. Prime 2 Echoes.
Yeah, we'll try and make it make sense.
Yeah, try and.
Why they're not doing it, but...
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. All right, Josh, anything else you'd like to talk about before we head off?
Just an announcement on Fantasy Critic. So I don't know if you're keen to do it again this year, Drew, but got the comp open for 2025 for House of Mario and Nintendonia. So if anyone's listening, get into our Discord and you can join our Fantasy Critic and try and beat us. Try and beat me, because I think I won it this year. So even beat Zach
well
Eggman. I was pretty happy with that, because he's the master of it, and so I did pretty well this year. So I'm pretty happy.
The
Anyone
apprentice
else
is
wants
now
to
the
play, join
master.
us. You going to play it, Drew? You going to give it a bit more of a go this year? Kind of did your picks and forgot about it.
Yeah, that's my problem. It's just like, I'm keen at the start of the year. I do my picks, and then I went in there a couple of times and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't do it, and I never got back to it.
I can help you a bit more this year if you want.
Yeah, maybe I'll take you up on that, because it is fun. I'm just a little bit useless at the consistency.
No, you're all good. I'll get you sorted. We'll get you ready for 2025.
Someone's got to.
Match fit.
Someone's got to help me out.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. But everybody, thank you very much for listening to House of Mario, episode 295. Enjoy the show. You can leave us a 5-star review. And if you don't, well, you can follow Josh. You can go and follow his show, Nintendonia. You can go and find that on all the podcast services. Twitter and Blue Sky, Josh. We're both on Blue Sky. That's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, another one I need to post to. Yep.
Yeah, great. I've been finding it nice because I don't follow that many people, so it's like it's not full of trash yet.
Twitter's less busy now. I've noticed people have moved.
Yeah, definitely like in the gaming space, because
Sure.
I really loved Twitter. Like, just that's how like I met a lot of people, like in the podcasting space, and it's kind of whatever's happened to Twitter on the back end, just politics out of it. If you don't like Elon Musk and all this stuff, it doesn't really matter. But just using it, it's just, there's way more ads. I'm not finding what I want. I'm not seeing, who I want to see. Just don't know. So, don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know why I'm going down this rabbit hole.
It's not what it used to be.
Not what it used to be. Yep.
No.
Yep. Getting old. It's not what it used to be back in my day. Back in 2010, when I used to log on and see whatever the hell was going on then.
That's right.
That's right. All right. Everybody, catch you later. Have a good one. But the doors of the House of Mario, they're closed. Catch you later.